Hello, hello. Happy Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever day of the week it is to you. Coach Michael here, and I'm doing this video here for you. If you are watching, you clicked on this, this has great interest to you, or this is something that you are learning about. If you haven't already seen my stuff before, maybe this is your first time, nice to meet you. I'm Coach Michael, Infidelity Recovery Specialist. I'm a five-star Google rated Infidelity Recovery Specialist. I've been working with individuals and couples all over the world to rebuild trust after infidelity. And my teaching is that the only way to rebuild trust is to make sure that what broke it the first time does not break it again. Because the biggest problem is when the unfaithful cheats, they do not know why they cheat. They only have a surface level explanation. Not only that, they cannot comprehend what they did to the fullest degree as to where they can actually prove to the betrayed spouse that they won't do it again. Okay, and then what leaves them is surface level promises and saying I'm just going to change. I'm never going to do this again when they only have just a very small or a not as an under not as much of understanding would be required to be able to understand yourself, to change your own patterns, your own habits, and work through your own insecurities. And so what where it leaves the betrayed is okay, you don't even know yourself that much to understand what you did, let alone how are you going to be able to fix that. And not only that, I don't see you fixing that. All I see you doing is talking to me more, spending more time with me, promising me you're not going to cheat again or you're going to be honest. And all of these things keep happening between that. I mean, those are other problems that contribute to destroying the trust or not rebuilding trust. There's other problems at play, like communication, for example. But, everything else that goes into rebuilding trust supports rebuilding trust. But if this isn't being done, if the root causes for why it happened and what's going on now to make sure that it's not going to happen and how you do that is change. You effectively change. You understand yourself and your patterns enough as to where you begin changing those proactively. And for me, I became obsessed what change was because my story is I continued to cheat. And yeah, I made conscious decisions to cheat, but I also promised myself I wasn't going to do it again. I also tried to not do it again. And it's not like something had a control of me and I didn't have control of myself. I made those choices. But the thing is that I didn't know why I kept thinking and doing and feeling those same ways. And yeah, I kept doing the action. The action was cheating or, talking to other women and right, messaging all that other stuff. But I didn't understand to the fullest degree why I just couldn't get a hold of myself. What was going on with me mentally, emotionally, as to where I felt the need to do those things, where I had those same psychological and emotional patterns that kept leading me in the same places. And here I go, keep finding myself in the same places, even though that's not what I want. And so I began to go, okay, how do you actually change? Because for me, what I was doing before was I was just trying to be confident. I was trying to lose weight and get my body in gear and thinking that going to the gym changed the person. And I knew there was more to it than that. But for me, I was just focused on the physical. I was just focused on the physical changes where I was just performing. I was just acting like that person. And I genuinely wanted to be that person and was trying to be that person. And in those moments believed I was that person. But my body wasn't trained that way. I wasn't trained. My nervous system and my mind, my subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is responsible for about 90% of your choices, your decisions, your behaviors. But when someone's body, brain and body are trained a certain way, and trained, conditioned, think of it as conditioned through a lifetime of having those same outlets, those same escapes, having the same insecurities, having your nervous system triggered the same way every single time whenever that girl, that person, whoever it is, says that, feels that, does that, and it causes me to feel this, think this, and feel the need to do that. When we go and find exactly why and how and begin changing that, begin shifting that on the inside, then that's when it'll show up on the outside. That's when you're actually changing. Isn't by not focusing just on the outside, yes, doing the work on the inside and aligning your actions accordingly. But if you're not doing that internal work on the inside to then to break those patterns because they are patterns. Cheating is not a single decision, it is a progression. And this is why I created the 9 stages of infidelity. There's the cause, the emotional effect, the interpretation, the desire, the action, the justification, the issues, patterns, the origins of the issues and the patterns, and finally the cure. And so going through those first initial stages, those first 6 stages, and then getting to the rest to then, get to the cure is very important because awareness and insight is good, is great. Yes, you understand yourself, you're aware of yourself and your patterns and insecurities and habits, but then what you do about it, okay? Because inside alone, knowing isn't going to be enough. It is then training your body, right? Training your body to have new patterns, new emotional and psychological patterns to give you a new identity, a new habit. So that's what it comes down to is you have an identity. You think and feel and do. The problem is that our identity gets manipulated by others or or dictated by others, created by others. We rely on others to give us our identity that says, I am this person. I am good enough to be loved. I am the person that I think that I am, and you validate me. And so that then I have the confirmation, then I have the confidence. You see, that's backwards. When we live like that, we're going to continue to depend on others to give us our identity, even our partner, our spouse, the person we're with, the person we love. We can't even rely on them to just give us our identity because what happens in those moments of stress and right and doubt creeps in, and it's our partner that's not there to validate us. Or maybe there's a fight going on between the both of you, and then suddenly what, your identity gets taken away and you start feeling and say, and then it's the same thing. You go back to the same escapes, the same patterns. So understanding and breaking yourself out of those is one of the most important things that you can do to rebuild trust, especially if you're the unfaithful. Focusing more on not getting their trust back or getting them to trust you, but focusing more on your change, on your transformation, on your becoming, being that person. Okay, not just being, for example, not just being honest and patient with them. Whenever they're talking to you and there's a situation going on, a discussion going on, right? You're not doing it just so you don't upset them. You're doing it because you're practicing changing in how you respond to them and how you identify. You're changing yourself in this process. It's not just about being transparent and honest with them. It's about you becoming the person who can be honest and transparent because then it's not a performance. No, you're not trying. You're doing. When it becomes who you are, then that's when your partner can begin to trust you. And that's something they're going to feel. That's something they're going to see. That's something they're going to experience. Okay. And so uh, when going over your 9 stages, with which, if you haven't already joined the new school community that I created a complete course The 9 stages method, all the videos, actions, exercises, everything is right there online for you to do on your own. Okay, because a lot of people want to work with me or work with someone, and that's great, but some people don't. Some people, hey, I want to do this on my own. Okay, here I put it all together for you. It's online right now. I'll put all the information in the description where you can get it, but it's available now. But here's what it is. We'll break down the stages, and so you can become more familiar and you can begin to work on yours. Okay, and let me know of your progress. Let me know what you've come up with in the comments, and let me know of your questions. Stage number one is the cause. Okay, so that is the event or events that started the person down that path. Okay, and that's past life events, things that have gone on in your past. Maybe you were abused, maybe you were abandoned, maybe you experienced a lot of uh, violence in the home, a lot of arguing, or whatever it may be. Okay, and then there's the event or events that are currently happening in life right now. Me and my partner, we're arguing a lot, we're not spending time together, whatever it may be, the cause, the event or events that started everything. And then thereafter that is the stage number two, which is the emotional effect, how you emotionally reacted due to these things: fear, sadness, uh, resentment, shame, guilt, whatever it may be. Okay, and then there's the interpretation. So something happens, you feel, it causes you to feel as a result of it, and then you start interpreting the interpretation of why all of those things are happening, what that means about me, what that means about my partner, what that means about my relationship, my marriage, my life. And so when you begin interpreting without talking, you're left to believe your own interpretations, and your own interpretations, when you're in that stage, are going to be negative and false many a times. And in that moment, it seems real. Okay, my partner is not spending time with me lately because they don't love me anymore, and they're seeing someone else. Okay, and so then what? Then when we have that interpretation within, and we're thinking this, then well, what are you going to do from there? And that leads to the desire. Okay, so what you began desiring at that point, when you begin, these things are happening. This is what I'm making me feel, and this is what making me think. And so then now I'm desiring something. I'm desiring an escape. I'm desiring some validation. I'm desiring some comfort. I'm desiring some companionship. I'm desiring release, whatever that release was, right? So it's important that when you're going over these, to 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 get yours down, to learn yours specifically, so you learn the pattern of it all, how it all went from A to B. Okay. The next stage after that, you're desiring something. The next stage is the action, what you do about your desires, what route you took to meet your desires. Was it a reaching out to an ex? Was it going on social media? Was it calling some kind of a service place? Going to the bar? What was it? Okay. What was the action? What did you actually do with all of the actions? Stage six, the justification. This one's important. I mean, they're all important here, but the justification is how you convinced yourself of what you were doing wasn't wrong so you can continue doing it. You justify your actions so you didn't feel all the guilt or all the shame, or you didn't have that conflict within. And so you told yourself a story. You justified it and said, my partner doesn't know what I'm doing. They don't need to know. Not only that, they don't care what I do. And so it doesn't matter. Or I'm not going to leave my partner for this person. I'm not putting my family in jeopardy. I mean, I take care of my family. We're good. We're solid. But, I'm just doing this other thing over to the side. I'm going to stop. It means nothing. It's just a small, stupid escape, whatever you called it, but you justified it. Okay. It's important you get down your justification, because when the justification rolls in, okay, then all of a sudden that gives you the right to do whatever you want. It gives you the reason. Okay. Stage seven is the issues, the patterns. Okay. So upon going over your stages and everything, all of this, you're going to find what your issues and patterns are, like issues of avoidance. Okay, I avoid, yes, whenever there's intense emotional conversation, I avoid, yes, I avoided this, I avoided that. I have issues of entitlement. I have issues of resentment. Yes, whenever my partner does something, I act like it doesn't bother me, but deep down, I hold it on the inside and I don't let go of it and I don't talk to them about it. And instead, I interpret and justify. And well, there you go. Okay. And so it's important that you learn what your issues and patterns are so that we can reverse them, break them, creating a new pattern, a new identity, a new you, a new life, because you do not change your life and expect it to change you. You change you, and your life changes as a result of it. Stage 8, the origins of the issues and the patterns, where it all came from. So you look back and you go, yeah, I have issues of communication. I shut down. Where did that come from? Yeah, when I was a child, my parents would yell at me, and when I would try to tell them something, they would tell me to be quiet and not say anything, and they would send me to my room, and I would get punished. And so I just learned to just avoid things and just agree with whatever they say, and I people please, right? And so going back and finding out where it all started and then begin doing the work, the psychological, emotional work to then create a new identity, to recreate yourself, your nervous system and subconscious mind, so you do not react, respond, and are stuck in that same identity doing the same things. There's a lot of work that's to be done. And yes, I sit here and tell you I've done the work and I still do the work because it's important to me. Was important to me. It is important to me that here's the thing I want to emphasize. It's not about getting to a certain level and saying, I've changed. I'm changed and I've done the work and I'm good. No, you keep changing and you keep bettering yourself and your life keeps getting better and you're like, whoa, and it just becomes who you are. That's where you want to get to, is that's just who you are. So it's no longer, it's just like work that I'm doing. It's things that I do that continue to better me and better my life, and I just enjoy doing that. And I just that's what I do, right? Because the work can get fun, especially when you experience the results, the outcomes, and then finally that's what we're going to here. Stage 9 is the cure, the actions, the exercises, the things to actually do with these thoughts, emotions, and patterns and identity. And this takes you both training yourself in moments of stress when those moments pop up, those events unfold where you used to respond a certain way, and you go, I know my thought form, I know my old pattern before, and now I'm going to practice to respond in my new way and reinforce my new identity. I'm going to train my nervous system differently right here in this moment, as well as in moments of calm. So you recreate yourself, your identity in moments of stress and in moments of calm. And yes, these are all actions and exercises that we create in when I'm working together with my students, okay, that I work with all over the world. If that's something you are interested in, yes, you can apply for my coaching. I'll put the information below if that's something you'd like to do. But do yours, create yours. I've given you the formula right here to go through. Okay, and if you want the in-depth of exactly how to go through these and have it simplified for you and guided for you to make it easier for you to figure this out and learn exactly what you can begin doing to change effectively today, right now. Because if not, again, if that's not being done, that's the elephant in the room. All the whining and dining and vacations and all these other things are going to have a temporary fix, or are going to have just keep it's going to put a band-aid on and keep it on without letting the actual healing begin. Okay, and so again, the information's below. Course is out right now, it's available. Coach Michael here. Hope this video helps. All the best to you.